Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 71, Rock and Roll. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here we have 4 and up, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Warning, no stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. I almost said French, but it's not. It's in English, so I don't know what I'm thinking. G.I. Joe Classified Series, the G.I. Joe and Stripes are embossed. Classified Series, not so much. On the front, what I'm thinking is nice digital renders of the accessories. Then we have what I'm guessing to be an actual photograph product shot of the figure. And then there's some artwork here. G.I. Joe Classified Series. Again, the G.I. Joe Star and Stripes are embossed on the packaging. Classified Series, not so much. G.I. Joe Craig Rock and Roll McConnell. And the G.I. Joe Star has reprint on the bottom, just in case you forgot. Plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Small fine legalese made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, some great artwork of rock and roll, rocking out. G.I. Joe Classified Series number 71. Then on this side, the G.I. Joe Star. Then again, that artwork of rock and roll. He's number 71. There's the QR code for what I'm guessing is the file card information, and if you want to scan that, you can pause it here to scan that. And then here are some of the stats, or probably all the stats from the file card. And then again, the stripes embossed on the front, they're embossed on the side here. And the embossing stays the same throughout, even though the color fades. On the back, number 71, the G.I. Joe Star, the background with the targeting or whatever. Some close-ups of some of the figure's features. Nice digital render of the figure and his accessories. According to this, he is 6.4 inches or 163 millimeters. And then there's, again, is file card information. Warning, attention, Achtung, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick it in your French pie hole. Parents, GIJoe.com! And small fine legalese made in China print, and some other symbols I'm not going to learn, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. We'll start with the accessories, and we'll start with his extra set of hands. And here he's got his rock and roll fingers, or devil horns, or whatever you want to call it. It's got that nice skull tampo on it, or half skull face tampo. And it does have nice molded details in it. Even on the back side, a bunch of wrinkles in the hands and the fingers. And it's on an in and out hinge. And his other hand is a fist. And everything I said about the other hand holds true for this one, except for the tampo. And it's a fist and not devil horns. In and out hinge. Next we have his primary weapon, which I always said was an M60. And that may be what this is. It may be something new. I'm not sure. But you'll see it has the slot in the top for the bullets. It's got a couple of ports here for the, I don't necessarily want to call it a magazine. It's not really a magazine, is it? But the bullet container. And then it does have a handle on the top, and it's a little bit flexible, so it does have a bipod on the front. Each leg of the bipod moves independently of the other. And then other than that, just it has nice molded details in it. Here we have his helmet, which I'm just going to say kind of looks like a standard modern infantry helmet. It's got the pouch on the back of it. It's got some nice molded details on the side. It's got a tampo that says Hang 10 here. Attachment for various optics. And then the straps hanging loose. And it looks like a communicator headphone piece in this ear. And this ear as well. And then again, nice molded details on it on this side as well. And next up we have his radio or walkie-talkie, whatever you want to call it. It's not a Joe Pro. And it does have nice molded details. One nice little paint app on it right there. And then it does have a post on the back where it ports into his belt. Next we have his sidearm. Pretty much just a standard sidearm. No embellishments on it. Here's the belt of ammunition. And which, I don't know, I guess I should have said this. You know, it's got some details right here. There's 2 bullets missing out of the strap. And then, you know, it's, I believe it's molded in this brass gold color. And then the strap is painted on it. But overall, I have to say it's a nice looking, just like the bandolier he's wearing, I guess you could call it. And then here is the ammo container if you'd rather post this on the weapon rather than using the full belt ammunition. You can do that, and it's got these posts right here for that, or it has a post right here to attach to his belt. In his final accessory we have the foot locker that the accessories come in inside the box. It says Rock and Roll number 71 on it. And I will say this has a nice real world military feel to it, but I much prefer the previous version of the foot locker. It looked more G.I. Joe and Cobra-esque to me. And again, that's my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. But there's that. Now let's take a look at Rock and Roll himself. And I have to say, there's a lot of nice sculpted detail there in the hair, and he does have a nice wash to it. And I'm not sure if the wash, I don't think the wash extends down to the beard, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it is in there a little bit, it looks like. And then these bandoliers, what I said about the strap of bullets holds true for this. And you can see he's got a port in his back, he's got a port on his belt here. He's got a port on his belt here. Holster for his sidearm. Some pouches there. It's got these nice tattoo tampos on his arm. He loves his mom. And then on this side he has some tattoos as well. And there's that half skull tattoo. Well, let's take a look at his articulation. He looks up that far. He looks down that far. He's got some chicken neck. Wow, at the waggle. At the shoulder, 360-degree rotation. He's got a butterfly hinge in there. Goes back that far and forward that far. At the shoulder, he can raise his arm up approximately 90 degrees. Cut here at the upper bicep for another 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow. And it gives you that much bend. 360-degree rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge. And up and down hinge on the other side. Standard ab hinge. Allows him to bend back that far. He can bend forward that far. Cut at the waist. It gives him some hula hula going on there. Can lean to the left and the right. At the waist he can bend back that far. And forward that far. 360-degree rotation at the waist as well. Drop down hinge at the hips. That gives him almost the full splits. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees, back about a step. Cut at the upper thigh for 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee. And it wants to be stuck now, even though I did warm it up and break it loose. Sometimes you have to do it a couple of times, kids. So you get that much bend out of the knee. At the mid shin, there is a boot cut, 360-degree rotation worth of it. At the ankle, down that far, up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as accessory storage goes, the radio again has a post on it and a port in its belt, and you can port it in right there, although watch out for the antenna. Sidearm just goes in this holster here, and it's held there by friction. If you don't have the canister, little ammo canister on the main weapon, it does have a post right here, and there's a plug in his belt, and you can just plug that right in there if you want to, or you can leave it off. He also has some bullets right here around his wrist. His helmet just pops on his head, stays due to friction. The extra hands, there's no storage for them. There's really no storage for the belt of ammunition either. You either put it in the gun or have him hold it in some other manner. And as far as the strap of ammo goes, you just take that part with the 2 bullets missing, and it just kind of feeds through there a little bit. And then he holds it up with his other hand or other arm. Just kind of make sure it stays in there straight while he's just bopping stuff Rambo style. Or is Rambo bopping stuff rock and roll style? Well, there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Rock and Roll with some others, what I remember to be original G.I. Joe team members. The Classified Series Wave 1 Scarlet, the Walmart exclusive retro carded Gung Ho, and the Target exclusive Cobra Island Breaker from Breaker and the Ram Cycle 2-pack. Here's the G.I. Joe Classified Series Rock and Roll with the Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Rock and Roll with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. Our final G.I. Joe Classified Series comparison, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Rock and Roll, I have to say, you know, I like, he's wearing his ammo belts just like the original figure. He has a strap of ammo to go in the gun, or alternately, a can that sticks to the side of the gun with ammo in it. He's got ammo around his wrist, and he's got tons of tattoos that are all tampoed on there, and they are put on there very, very nice. One thing about Rock and Roll, he comes with an extra hand, or is it a couple of extra hands? He comes with an extra hand. Yes. One extra hand. And, you know, it's got that tampo for the tattoo on it as well. So, you know, you don't get that very often in Classified Series extra hands. Or alternate hands. But I'm glad that they gave it with this guy so that he can give the, you know, like the love or devil horns or whatever you want to call it with his hand. Now, the one thing about this guy, and I'm torn on whether I'll like it or not, is the color scheme that they gave for his shirt. As you know, the original figure, he was all green except for his bandoliers of ammunition, so to speak. And, you know, those first releases of A Real American Hero, you know, they were all kind of in that OD green suit, so, or uniform, not suit. So I'm kind of glad they updated it, but also, you know, now he's one of the original Joes who's not going to really match up with the original team when they get around to making them all, because, you know, we got Tripwire coming soon. Breaker, he's already out, and he's completely green. But when I look at Breaker, you know, he's very plain looking also. But those original few Joes from the team were kind of plain looking because they were just supposed to be army guys. But, so, I think I'm leaning more towards I like the fact that they updated his colors a little bit. And I just love the accessories with this guy. The helmet looks great. His M60 is awesome looking. The ammo belts, the ammo can, the CB or walkie-talkie or radio, whatever you want to call it, is, you know, and I like it. I think the team did a really, really good job on this guy, from the design to the tampos to the paints. And I don't know that I would say this is one of my favorite G.I. Joe Classified Series figures, but I really do like Rock and Roll, this version of Rock and Roll. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.